I'm here inside the inner sanctum of the workshops at the BMW M Test Centre at the Nürburgring to have a look at this. It's the BMW 128 Ti. That name is making a return. It's a new chapter for the company that's getting back to its roots, creating more driver-focused cars. Now, we can't show you everything about the car yet because it hasn't quite been launched, so there is still a little bit of camouflage. But what we can tell you is that it forgoes the all-wheel drive transmission of the M135i, so it sits below that but above the 120i. It has 265 horsepower, 400 newton meters, and will accelerate from 0 to 100 in 6.2 seconds. It's got beefed up brakes, specifically tuned M Sport suspension, and a whole lot of others, but we can't show you everything, including the inside, just yet. But we can tell you quite a bit about what makes this car so special. Now I'm here getting literally under the skin of the 128 Ti, and you're the senior project lead for this car. You've been working on fine-tuning all the dynamics and how this car handles and performs. So can you sort of give us some insight into what makes this car so special and what you've done to make it perform so uniquely?
Yeah, thanks for being here. So first of all, we always start with the body of the car. So we adjust the stiffness at the front and the rear to match with the target we want to achieve with the car. So the target for this car was to make it a firm, driver-connected car, which makes fun to drive. And so we adjusted at first stiffness at the front and at the back. So and also at the beginning we do specific changes to the kinematics in this case. So what you see here is a specific bearing for the car.
Okay, so it's just in here, yeah. So this is specific for this particular car.
It's specific for this particular car. It's a little bit stiffer, and it's done to take into account that we have the machine with the most power at the front wheel, and also with the limited slip differential, that we have a more firm driving, especially at higher speeds.
Yeah, so inside, beneath this, you've got the, it's a Torsen limited slip differential in front as well. And then, so that obviously means that we only have a front wheel drive car, so now we have a lot more space. So there's 80 kilograms less now?
It's 80 kilograms less, and most of the weight is on the back is gone at the weight. So the front weight is almost the same, but the most weight is gone at the back, so complete 80 kilos.
And we've got slightly beefier brakes as well now with these quite distinctive red brake calipers. So the brakes have been enhanced again to reflect the performance of the car, yeah?
It's the M Sports brake. You probably know it from the 135 XI. It's the same brake, but since the car's not as heavy, it's a very firm brake for the car and horsepower.
And then underneath the car, it's really great to see underneath this, because you can see there's some additional bracing that's been put in, and is this all to add a bit more stiffness to the chassis as well, yeah?
Yeah, that is correct. This is a specific brace. We call it boomerang brace, and it's basically to increase the stiffness of the rear. And this version is specifically taken for this kind of car to match to the weight of the car and also to the drivability. We wanted to achieve that it has for front-wheel drive, a quite neutral behavior.
Because it's not a particularly stiff car in that respect as well. There's quite a nice degree of compliance with the suspension. And did you spend a lot of time fine-tuning the suspension of the car?
So the fine-tuning of the suspension was more one of the most important parts to get the specific feel. So we increased the spring stiffness at the front and the back. Also adjusted the stiffness a little bit more to the back to make it a little bit more neutral, willing to go into the turn. And we adjusted the dampers, especially the compression damping, to make it really firm and that the driver is better connected to the road, and that the reaction of the car is quite direct.
Because there's no adaptive dampers in this, so it's a passive system, so it's a real driver's car.
So what the idea behind the car was everything mechanic, so damping, completely mechanic, limited slip differential, completely mechanic, so there's really direct response, no control logic, which takes over. Basic mechanical car.
And the engine then, just to round off, so it is the same core engine as what's in the M135i, but it is slightly detuned, but you still have 265 horsepower and 400 Newton meters.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, it's great to get to look literally under the skin of this car. After driving it, you've hit the spot in terms of how it drives. So yeah, look forward to seeing more of it. Thanks.
Nice to hear that.
Yeah. So that's our first look around BMW's new 128 Ti. Tell us what you think about it. Are you glad to see this car return to the range? Do you think it's a new chapter for the company? Get involved in the comments below and tell us what you think. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you don't already, please do hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.